Hello. Hey, everybody. I hope there is already somebody here, but if not, then I'll just keep talking to myself. But welcome to Gamenightathon. So today is the 1st of July, which means we are starting the best month of the year, right? So we are starting Gamenightathon, and I am very much looking forward to it. I have in principle started a book today, but I am going to be switching to another book now because I tried it, but on audiobook it wasn't really working for me. And the only reason that I chose this particular one over some of the other options was the fact that I had an access to the audiobook. So I'm going to be switching to another one. But so yeah, let me know where you are in terms of like, have you started your book? Are you starting right now? And which books that you are reading, and yeah, anything else you want to share. I have ordered food and they are preparing the food, so I'm also going to be keeping a little bit of an eye on my takeaway order so that we can go into sprints when it's about to arrive. But I think we're fine. I think it's currently saying the earliest it will come is in like 25 minutes, so by that time we should be in a sprint already. But hello, Kitty. And yes, indeed, it is also my birthday today. Thank you. Hello, Charlotte. How are you doing? Thank you. 0 pages from me. I'm editing right now. Nice. So, yeah, I have listened to the same 20 minutes twice today. So, I started Paradisio 17, but I think it's just a little bit of a style that I think is going to suffer in terms of audiobook. I do feel like the introduction was maybe a little bit more difficult for me to follow than when we started to go into the actual sort of like remembering of his life. Because basically, in that book, we have a character who's about to pass away from cancer, who's looking back at his life in Palestine. And it begins with a little bit of an introduction in which he kind of goes through certain moments in his time in his life in a unchronological order, and that of course was not helping my understanding of it. But I definitely think that I prefer to go through it physically next time, because I don't think that I'm going to be paying enough attention when I listen to it. So I'm actually choosing another one, and we'll talk about that soon. I've started the fallow year. I'm on the third short story in that. I'm now restarting City of Blades and see where I get with that. Okay, don't know the fallow year, but so I'm assuming it's a short story collection from that description. Hello, Natalie, and thank you for the birthday wishes. Yes, I bought myself some stuff as well. So I have bubble tea with me right now, and I bought a travel diary about Japan. And then I also bought myself some chocolates. And then I recently got myself this t shirt, Girls Will Be Girls. I mean, I got myself some others as well. I got myself like five graphic t-shirts, and so this is the first one of those that I'm actually wearing right now, because this morning I was like, which do I want to wear for my birthday, and I thought the Girls Will Be Girls one was suitable. I also wore dinosaur party socks. So yes, I decided to celebrate my birthday in style is basically what I'm trying to say there, right? And then I ordered some pizza now, so I am not going to be cooking on my birthday. Did I cook yesterday? No, I did not cook yesterday neither. So, I am slacking off when it comes to cooking a little bit. But yeah, it's also been so hot that I haven't really felt like eating much, and definitely not like cooking much. So let's just take it. Dinosaur party socks, top tier. Absolutely, yes. You're doing all the right things. Yeah, exactly. Like treating myself. I think especially if you're single like me, then a birthday can go by without you necessarily doing anything special. Like, sure, if I really wanted to, I could just like reach out to some friends and be like, "Hey, you want to meet up on my birthday and do something?" So it isn't like I don't have any opportunity to do it, but I think it just falls a little bit, it can more easily fall by the wayside. And when you are with a partner, and the partner is kind of the one who feels the responsibility of like making something special of that day. So yeah, I like to treat myself on this day. Do I treat myself regularly? Yes, but definitely on this day. It is short stories that take place between book 2 and 3 of Little Thieves, but I feel like they will still form one big story. Okay, yeah, that's nice when short stories kind of end up as a big tapestry that leads to something overarching. Like it's nice regardless, I think, but it's even nicer when they end up pairing up and ends up being more than just a short story collection. But so yeah, I think that what I'm going to be starting is Our Cut of Salt. Um, which is a haunted house story by a Palestinian author. So I'm expecting the haunted house to be a Palestinian home that has been stolen by Israeli colonizers. That's my prediction or like my expectation based on that sort of like like catchphrase that they give you to try and read this book, and so that to me sounds super interesting, and that's why I actually from the get-go was thinking that this was going to be the book that I was going to pick up for it because that's the one that sounded the most interesting to me, but then I needed an audiobook, so but actually on that note, I think we should also spin for my next prompt because I do also want to know my second option, so my audiobook option. And actually, I don't have this in this app, right? I have to follow the link that Charlotte made. And where is it? There is it. And I'm actually not so sure. Is this like once you open it, is like your personalized version of it? Actually, I think I saved it to for myself as well. Very well prepared here, guys. And my wheels, yes. Don't give me this publicity. Okay, Gamenightathon should be my version. Then I'm removing the watermelon. Right. I will be reading, drumroll, the Grimm's fairy tale notes. Because hear me out, Brothers Grimm and Einstein, both German academics. Nice combination. And so I will be spinning. You will not see that at all. Should I make the effort? No. You will just have to trust me whenever the thing comes up. Too much glare. Cannot even read that. Wait, where is this? No, you cannot even read that. Not even if I. Yeah, wait. Speak of the devil. Einstein. I'll take a screenshot of that because actually I now realize that I forgot to put on my screen recorder to add this to a vlog or anything like that, but this will just have to do as my proof. So Einstein. I don't think I have I haven't thought about these prompts in advance, just so you know. So I guess I will be looking for something that has to do something with science, or I could, of course, go through my what I've saved on my audiobook app and see if there's anything in there that I think I can link back to Einstein in a different way. But in any case, my audiobook is more sort of like I need it for the commute tomorrow. It isn't like it needs to happen right this second, But so yeah, I think I've already totally messed up on my end because I still need to do the moves on the board. So actually, I shouldn't have done my next spin. But you guys will hold me accountable because I think we will do my moves on the board during the sort of first chatty bits. So you can keep me accountable for actually choosing the correct path on the board for this, and I'll try not to keep Einstein too much in mind when I do so. In any case, I am helping out every team throughout this readathon, and actually Team Circle. If there aren't any Team Circle members, I am taking part in Team Circle this week. Um, Anything with plot twists, because these authors are geniuses for coming up with all of this. Okay, you are the master of finding the way to twist these prompts in order to fit as widely as possible, and I love it. Not any book, because reading always makes you smarter. Exactly. That's right. I forgot. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's even a wider interpretation to it. Um, and I do think I have the perfect book on my want to read lists. But I don't know whether I would have audiobook access to that, because I have a book called Moonwalking with Einstein, which I think is a nonfiction about memory that was recommended by the Book Olive, I think. And so that would fit perfectly, of course, but I don't know whether I have the audiobook, and I specifically kind of need an audiobook to read because of all the cycling that I do to work. So like I cycle every day for like 40 minutes at least if I go to one office, and like 2 hours if I go to the other office. So I definitely need an audiobook to listen to during those, so that I can kind of maximize the time in which I'm reading. But so yeah, I think that was enough chatting. Let's get down to business, right? We've got a lot of reading to do. We've got some points to score for our respectable teams. So let me share. Also, let me know if there's something wrong with the audiobook or anything like with the audiobook, with the audio quality or anything like that. I am connected to the Wi-Fi from my phone, because last time I had a lot of buffering issues. So hopefully this will just like prevent those from even showing up. All right, so we will do. Where is the screen I need to be in? We will do 50 minutes sprints, and then the chatty bits in between can just be whatever they turn out to be. I'm not planning on sticking to a rigorous structure. Unless you guys prefer that, then we can do so. But for the time being, let's just say 50-minute sprints, and we'll see how long the chatty bits in between will be. But so yes, thanks for that confirmation, and see you guys in 50. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I did not do much reading during the sprint because I unfortunately found out that the book that I was really interested in picking for my watermelon prompt turned out to not be published yet. So, yeah, I had to choose another book. I'm going to try and read Minor Detail for this prompt now, but I have downloaded it and I started like the first few lines of it, but then my food arrived, and so yeah, then I just ended up watching a reaction video instead, which finished a few minutes ago, and then I saw that I just had like 4 minutes left until the sprint, so I was like, okay, I'm not going to like continue reading now for just 4 more minutes. So I instead watched the scoring for England's Ghana game because I have stakes in the game in terms of the company-wide prediction game. My ranking did not change because I guess everybody around me made the same prediction as me. But I did get 60 points out of this one. So yeah, this is me realizing that it's only being published in September. And then we have a few people who came by to support the stream, so very thankful for that. So Family and Books and the Spooky Library came in to say hello. So hello back. Hey Yolene, how are you doing? Hello to the Glitter Librarian. Hello Larissa. Didn't know you were sprinting, but could have known. There were signs. Still working on editing that reel. It's a lot of work for less than 2 minutes of content, but it's coming along. Yeah, yeah. Editing can sometimes be a horrible mess. And I feel like the shorter the content, sometimes the more work, relatively speaking. And Kitty is almost done editing. Nice. I have not thought about the Einstein one in the meantime, but what I do want to be sharing during this one is let's share a different screen, which is this one. Okay, let me see. Maybe I need to change the screen for you guys so that you can actually see it, like this. Right. So let's see how easy I can make that here. So this is my icon. I am starting in the Team Circle spot because for the first week I'm starting for Team Circle. And so I thought I'll use that spot. For the coming weeks, I'll just continue from the spot where I end up. I'm not going to start moving myself to the starting positions. But so yeah, since Circle was chosen as my first team, that's going to be my starting spot. And I need to get to here for my first role. We have, which is just out of view. So let me just change that here. So we have a horizontal one to play around with. So that is going to be the extra tile that we can slide in somewhere. So we have to find a way to get there in as little slides as possible. And I'm already thinking that that's actually not going to be as easy as I would like it to be, because, yeah, there are only these types of, there's no sort of like corner piece going into this. So it's not like we can easily reach this unless like we get this piece over there, but that's already like 2 moves, and first we would have to get there, for example. So because like sliding this one in here means that I can go to here, but then we're blocked again. Sliding this one in there, same story. We can move to here at least already, but is that gonna help us? So that's like one. If we slide this over there, we have a second slide and we can get here, or even here if we wanted to, but I don't see why we would want to. And this would move there. So actually what I'm thinking is the easiest thing would actually be sliding this off of the board. So 1, 2 slides, and then sliding it in here, and then it would be 3 slides. But that is probably the easiest way to do this one. And indeed, I start to see. So Charlotte was saying, cleaned up the kitchen, had some ice cream, and reread the beginning of City of Blades. Nice. And indeed, throw the watermelon off and put it next to you seems to be the easiest solution to getting to this particular piece on the board right now. So let's do that. It'll be my first experience of actually trying to manipulate this maze, because I had made it so that they're grouped. So normally I can just do like this. Of course, then it will fall. How easy would it be if I make them like that? Will I be able to find back that one? This one? No, it disappeared, of course. No, I have to do it one at a time, it seems like. Move back. So let me just. Yeah, I have to do it one at a time in any case, right? It'll be the best thing to do. So I'll get better at manipulating this. We move that. We move this in. I want to flip it so that we get a nice path over here, as close as possible, whatever. And then, yeah, actually, I need to look because I'm going to slide it again. That doesn't even make sense anymore to do that. But nor does it really matter which direction it is for when it would slide into here, And when we're sliding it again, if we're sliding it again at some point, it can move there. So I'll probably leave it oriented like this. And so that means that we are sliding the watermelon off again. We are sliding this to the sides. I don't know why I decided to use my keypad for this because that goes way slower. Yes, and that means that we can slide this in, and I'm going to choose to orient it like this. You never know. Maybe we can place something in here at some point. And then, okay, now we have the choice. So the watermelon can either be slid in here, moving all of those up, or we can slide it over there, moving all of those to the sides. Honestly speaking, there's not much of a difference, I guess. The only difference, which is going to be my game changer here, is if I slide it in here, I can only get to this point. But if I slide it in there, I can get to this point if I need it next. So that's what we're going to do. So sliding that one over by one, sliding the watermelon in. Maybe I shouldn't have put all that decoration there at the bottom. Like this. This one becomes my extra tile. And I move over here. Perfect. So yeah. Okay, stop clicking things. So that already that's actually really bad news, guys. Because if I slide it 3 times, that's 150 penalty points, right? If I remember my own point system. And this book isn't 150 pages long. So maybe I need to look for another book. Wait. Where are we? I'm feeling very sorry for the circles. Their board is messy. Yeah, they're starting from a messy position indeed. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I really randomly place these things, but it's very sad to see us. I can't get them to group. I have to move every single one. That's weird because I have pre-grouped them for you guys normally. I had already put them as a group so that you would be able to individually slide a tile rather than have to do that. It's confusing me why that would work like that in your case. No need to group, just select the ones you want to move. You're loving the Kanban board, that's nice. It only ever moved the 2 end pieces for me. The 2 end pieces. You mean like the icon didn't move with it? Is that what you mean by that? Einstein is directly within reach. I did not look at it, okay? But also, is Einstein directly in reach? Where is Einstein? Ah, there. Okay. Or for you, it is directly in reach. Because for me, it is not right. Ah, wait, I can also move like that. Ah, yeah, yeah. Ah, I didn't even look at that. I didn't even realize that. Of course, now I can move straight up rather than going to that lamp as well. So yes, indeed, then Einstein is directly in reach. I swear it is coincidental. Come on, I really am very bad at navigating my current laptop. Clio reading for minus points. Yeah, at this point, yes. Seeing this, I'm so glad I had the physical board. I mean, I think it will definitely get easier the further along you go. The more I get used to manipulating it like that, I guess. And maybe I'll do something with those decorations at the bottom so that they always go to the back. 'Cause they're now more to the front. Now, if I selected the whole row, it only moves the most right and most left tile, not the ones in the middle. It's very weird. Because, like, normally it selects everything that is within that thingy. Because I just. Is there maybe a problem with one particular row, for example? Like, would I have that on a certain row? No. That one I already moved. Yeah. Yeah, it works. Yeah, I really don't understand how it can be different for you when it's coming from the same template. Can you try otherwise making another copy of the same template again and seeing if you still have it when you do that? Because I'm really not entirely sure how that is possible. Well, I haven't done tree moves yet, but no, I just always have weird issues with Canva. Damn it! Canva! I thought you were the solution. I thought you were going to make lives easy for everybody involved. Wait, come on, show me that new comment. Well, there's no new comment. You told me there was a new comment, but there wasn't. But so yes, that is going to be my first move, and I guess now I have to consider physically reading Paradiso 17 instead, because that book actually is long enough. I was like, yeah, I'll just read a minor detail because it's just like 120 pages, so it's like a fast one for me to start off with. And now I'm like, yeah, okay, but maybe I'll still do it, but then I'm starting off giving Team Circle negative points, so maybe that's not that ideal. But okay. I'm sorry if you hear a ton of background noise, by the way, because I do have my window open at the moment. So the closer we get to 10 o'clock, the more likely that I'll close it because Belgium is playing a football game at that time. So there will be a lot of street noise at that point in time, but I'm also still trying to keep it relatively cool inside. But so I think it's time for another sprint. So I'll reset my sharing over here to sharing the timer. Yes. Let's restart that. No, not that one. Let's go to this. And yeah, see you guys in 50 minutes. Hello. How did we all do? I decided to read the book, even though it is too short for actually getting positive points for this one. But um, I am a third of the way in already. So that is positive news. So it is only 112 pages, but I am flying through it at this point in time, which is positive news. It is definitely not. I mean, nothing bad has technically happened yet. I mean, yes, some things have happened yet, but the big thing is still to come. So it's not going to be light reading, but obviously I knew that books by Palestinian authors most likely were not going to be a light reading because most of them will deal with the traumatic events that their people have had to go through in the past century. But yes, so far, really intrigued. This book won or was shortlisted for the Booker Prize or International Booker Prize, probably. Not entirely sure which one of the two, a few years ago. And so far, I am seeing why that was the case. So, Kat joined us as well. Hello, Kat. How are you doing? What are you reading? I had dinners and finished the reel, almost ready to post it finally. Good. And also Kitty also finished editing and she read 15 pages. Nice. So, yeah, making some progress, all of us. I do still, I guess, technically have to check what I'm going to do with the Einstein prompt. However, at this point in time, I think for tonight, I'm definitely like intrigued enough and like flying through this book at such a rate that I will not need the audiobook. I was basically worried because in the month of June I haven't really been reading physically very well. Like the physical books that I was reading always made me want to fall asleep. Uh, and I was definitely very tired in the month of June, so it could also be just that in combination with. But maybe I was also just picking up the wrong books. Why am I all of a sudden so white? um, so yeah, I'm happy to see that at least with this book, the like rush has returned, and so it isn't that I am ruined for physical reading forever. So Kat started American War by Omar El Akkad on the train, 5% in. Nice. Are you on your way home right now? And are your exams all done? Because it's the 1st of July, so probably. I had one exam, no, not an exam. I think I received my grades at some point after the 1st of July. Probably never had like an actual exam still on my birthday. My niece has also just wished me a happy birthday. I guess her mother was like, did you guys wish a happy birthday to your aunt? But so yeah, the Einstein prompt I still need to think about. Um, but I guess we have time because I won't be picking up a book for it tonight, most likely. But so yeah, maybe we can steal a page from Daniela's book and play a little bit of a game together. Is there any of the daily games that you guys would have a preference for in that case? Now I'm going to Unitown. My last exam was last week, but I'm here to arrange some things and clean and stuff because I fled from the heat. I have an attic room that was an absolute oven, I can imagine. And Charlotte got up to page 56. Nice. I was on TikTok. You are absolutely allowed to be on TikTok. I will not um, words. I will not judge you. Bookidle might be fun. Okay, I have never done that myself. So, though I was there when Daniela did one. Bookidle, is that how you? Okay. And then, so wait. Stop sharing that one. Start sharing. Where is it in this list? No, this one. Share. Yeah, whatever. Well, we can do both, right? A fantasy from 1999. That's a while. With 547 pages. I want to automatically go for something like a Game of Thrones, one of those. Though I wouldn't necessarily think of one based off that like visual. Yeah, and I'll change the visual again so that it's large for you guys. Click. Okay, so any guesses, guys? It's like pinkish with quite some gray in there. 1999. I was 11 at that point in time. So, or a Harry Potter, I guess. Like 90. I was 11, so the first two were out. Yeah, maybe we can try that in a later chatty bit. My mind went to a Harry Potter, not sure which one came out. I never know when books are. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that this is the cover of because I think that this is like the hippogriff potentially. So Harry Potter and the I have to type the whole thing though, right? Prisoner of Azkaban. Exactly. Well, that was too easy, and yeah, this was unintended J.K. Rowling publicity. This is the same book, if you do the clues guess, or it is, yeah, it's a different one. Okay. A 2018 romance with 333 pages. 2018. It's already 8 years ago. Oh, right. And this is like our first clue, right? Algorithms. So something to do with social media or what? Oh, romance is really not my cup of tea. I think the second one because the green is the car. Good job. Yes. Algorithms is a clue. Okay. Is it the Christina Lauren one? What is? I really don't know any of these. I mean, I know the authors, but I don't know any of their books. Or Ellie Hazelwood. I don't know. With Ellie algorithms, my mind goes to Ellie Hazelwood. Yeah, but I guess we have to give like a title then, right? Haven't read any though. Because what is that one? The Love Hypothesis, is that Ellie Hazelwood's? I thought about that as well. Christina Lauren, something experiment. The something with soulmate. Oh, what's the title? The soulmate experiment, maybe. Wait? Can we find? Or if I type in, wait, soulmates. Soulmate equation. Is that what you are thinking of? I'll just give it a go. No, not that one. Pho. Okay. So it is Vietnamese. Or set in Vietnam at least. Yeah, it's not the soulmate equation. Kiss quotients? Who knows? Kiss quotients. Helen Huang. Okay, that's the reason why you're saying Vietnamese. Okay, so a brilliant econometrician with Asperger's hires a male escort to teach her about intimacy. Rude. professional arrangement becomes complicated as they both discover unexpected feelings. I don't necessarily know why this is algorithms, unless this quotient somehow has to do with that. But good job, Kitty. Good call, indeed. So I am going to start us into a new sprint, and then we can try the Unwordle. Was it? In the next one, but I will not be struggling alone. Okay, we are going to try and solve it together, the way that we did for this one. But so let me go back to I always have to make sure I'm sharing the right screen because I have 20,000 screens open. And go back to a sprint and see you guys in 50. And I should also probably indicate that this is going to most likely be the final sprint, right? If we are doing 50 minutes now, then it's going to be somewhat after 10 when that finishes. I don't think I want to go until 11. So we'll finish the sprint, we'll do the unverbal, and then we'll call it a night for the first night of Gamenightathon. Hello. So we have had our final sprints. I will turn this off, but we can still stay for a little bit of chatting and for the unwordle. Was that the word? um, Kitty still said, like, I always mix this one up with the Ellie Hazelwood. I got really excited when I saw the Love Hypothesis trailer and then confused why the main character isn't Asian, then realized my mistake. Yeah, cannot keep any of those popular romance novels apart because, yeah, I guess I just don't read many of them, so I don't really know the differences between any of them. But I am two-thirds of the way into my book. Part of me was thinking like I could just finish it in one day, but now I'm thinking that I'm actually too tired to be able to do so. So I'll probably just be like right after sprints, winding down for the day and going to sleep. As I said, I've been very, very tired recently, and so the tiredness returns. But I have already gotten a very decent way into this one. As I said, it is like 112 pages, so I probably read some 80 pages or so within these sprints. But that's good progress. I listened to my lobster book while doing dishes and getting ready for bed. Nice. I need to do laundry as well before I go to sleep. Ugh. Then But so yes, let's see. What was the thing that Kat mentions? Was unwordle. I don't think I've ever done that before, so that could also be interesting. Unwordle. Let's see. Reverse wordle game. Okay. Kitty read 3 pages, then audio of Blood of Dragons, and Dishes. Nice. Share screen, the Unwordle, share. Yes. And let's change this setup again. Kat is watching football right when you start talking. The Belgians were building up an attack, but the Senegalese keeper got it. So I'm gonna make you potentially annoyed at me right now, but I am absolutely hoping that as a birthday gift, the Senegalese will win, and preferably in penalties, because then I get 80 points in the prediction game. I listened to 2 chapters of We Who Will Die. Nice. You also have to deal with the publicity that I have on the Unword right now, apparently. Pampers, thank you. No, I don't need you. So, the objective of this game is to fill in the grid with the correct numbers, blah, blah, blah. If you're familiar with Wordle, we're trying to recreate a Wordle grid given the final word. Sorry, my brain is not... Stop. My brain is not thinking anymore. Right. I don't get it. Honestly, this entire World Cup, I've been rooting for the African country, so I would kind of be fine with Senegal. Okay. So, Unwordle. So I have to find a word now that has these 2 letters here, or what? And then one of the letters, like the C or the O, I guess, was placed here. People, there's a lot of screaming right now. I don't know whether you hear this, because then I guess I'll close my window. So let me know if this is bothering you, if you're even hearing it. Yes, my brain was not was not wanting to deal with the instructions, and now I'm like, what? You have to fill in the words, so the color grids would be what you get in Wordle. Okay. Um, so, like, wait, you have to start from the top. Okay, that's not great. Or can I choose where I start from? Can I remove this now? Yeah, okay. So, like this, for example. But I guess I have to do it in one go, or what? Oh, oh, this was good news. Okay. Greens are the same and orange used in the row. Wait, the green are the same and orange used in the row below. Wait, sorry, my brain is really no longer. It sounds a bit like one of those toy diners where the battery is running out. Senegal almost scores. That's a screaming. No, you can still change it and move stuff around. Okay, okay. So, I guess these two are one of these, but then the M is not here, right? That's our conclusion. This has to be an E or an O. And then this is most likely an M or an E, right? Sorry, my brain is really just like shutting down and seeing. It's like, oh, wait, if this is an O, like, what are we doing with that? My brain ovens. Yeah, no, because then the S's would already have been there, so they would have known. Or overt. Yes, because that's a word that people guess in Wordle, right? But how do you even do this? Like, how do you get to that first one? Because then I guess you only have one letter that was correctly guessed from the original sequence, and all the rest you have to just like make a wild guess at it, or what? I really don't vibe with these reverse Wordle games. Hey, overt, hey, thinking alike. I love them, but they always take me so long. Okay, there are multiple right options. You just have to make it work. Okay. Okay, so what are we gonna do here? An E, I'm assuming I'm gonna put in here. Can I already put that? Yeah, okay. We've already used the V, the R, the T, the S, which is not great, I guess. No. I would like to do something with an N at some point, probably. Like knee. What can we come up with? um, ah, I cannot do this like this, right? New. Wait. That's where we're gonna get blocked. Okay, I'm looking at your suggestions now. You just need to a correct answer, but there are multiples. Penny, Newly, Wendy. Well, Wendy is nice as well, yes. So when the um Do I have to press the show air? What was this thing again? Being. So why is that incorrect? I'm sorry, I don't understand. Because there were multiple correct answers, right? They don't like. Okay, it doesn't. It doesn't recognize Wendy as a word. Okay, just oh, Bendy. Well, that was a twist. Yeah. So my apologies for my brain fog that has apparently bendy is like somebody who can easily bend, or something that can easily bend. It's just the adjective coming from the verb bend, but wasn't my first choice. But okay, it was enough. Yeah, I don't know whether I'm a big fan of the Unwordle. It's definitely not the best choice for when my brain is already very tired. But yeah, I mean, I hope it was somewhat entertaining because on the one hand, I'm like, oh no, this was probably super boring for you guys to look at me like struggle mentally for hopefully not too many minutes. But so, yes, I am going to collect my laundry and put that in. And then I think I'll probably I'll continue a little bit in the book still. I think the one thing is that it doesn't really like it has two chapters in the entire thing, and I'm in the second chapter, so there's no real like natural place to start at this point in time. So probably this type of paragraph break that I've ended on now is probably actually the best type of place to stop. So maybe it's also better to just not continue at all anymore tonight and just maybe look a little bit at what I could potentially, yeah, probably that's best. Looking at what I can do for the Einstein prompt, because of course tomorrow I'm going to be cycling to work and I need something to put on, right, as my audiobook. I think you did very well, thanks. 2 years ago, we already established that I never mind watching you suffer. Well, thanks. Happy to oblige. But so yes, I hope you guys had a productive first day of Gamenightathon. I make no promises in terms of like regular sprinting schedule or anything like that, but I might also do some more sort of like just like sprints over on the Discord rather than doing them always on the YouTube channel. So maybe I'll do more that way. So you'll just have to see, I guess. But I'll definitely try to do a few more throughout the months, especially during the weekend of Read It Short. Of course, I'm going to be doing more reading sprints at that point in time, but I'm hoping not to just only do it then. I'm hoping to do a few more sprints sessions throughout the months. And if anybody at any point throughout the month feels like starting up some impromptu sprints, whether they're over on my Discord or on your own YouTube channel, always feel free. Definitely feel free to publish about it on the Discord so that people are aware of them. You don't need my permission to do so. I'll be happy for the community spirit to spread that way as well. But also don't feel obligated if you don't want to do that. It's just like in case you, on your end, would be like, oh, I feel like sprints and Cleo is not sprinting. Don't let that stop you. Thanks for sprints and readathon. It's going to be so fun. Yes, I'm very much looking forward to it, and I'm very, very happy. I basically DNF'd the final book that I was reading for Herkiet last night because I was just like, okay, I'm not able to finish it, and honestly speaking, I really don't care to finish it neither. So the only thing that I'm carrying over is the 100-Year War on Palestine, which is a book that I'm just going to be taking more time with. So I'm fully free for Gamenightathon and I'm enjoying that a lot. Thanks for sprints. Yes, having a lot of fun already. Yes, I enjoy very much the suggestion of people sending gifts for their the icons that they've collected, and I'm people's gift game is very much on par at the moment. So very much enjoying that aspect to it at the moment. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed our time together, and speak to you on the Discord. And yeah, with that, I'm gonna end my evening here. So bye. Just have to click the button as well. Bye.